Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Decisive Showdown Super Saiyan Bardock, the free-to-play LR that has come to DBZ Dokkan Battle from the quest mode, and how good he is in DBZ Dokkan Battle. Now, Bardock is a time traveler's lead of 80%, raises his attack permanently on his 12 key, greatly raises defense on his 12 key for one turn, and lowers the enemy's attack. On his 18 key, he greatly raises defense and greatly raises attack for one turn, and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. In terms of his passive, he launches an additional attack and guards all super attacks for 4 turns, has key +5 and attack and defense of 150%. He has a high chance of performing a critical hit, gives superclass allies key +1 and attack and defense of 25%, and time travelers category allies key +1 and attack and defense of 25% as well. When there is a Wicked Bloodlines or Transformation Boost category enemy, we will have damage reduction of 30% and attack of 120%. What's super interesting to take note of here is that he will have the additional 30% damage reduction regardless of if that enemy disappears. So for example, if he were to, let's say, face a Freezer enemy and then face a like Goku enemy, he would keep the damage reduction. When there's another superclass ally on the team, he will launch an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super attack. When attacking with 12 or more key, his attack and defense will go up by 100%. When HP is 60% or less, attack goes up by 60%, performs a critical hit, and foresees enemy's super attack. So Bardock is pretty interesting. Link Y, Super Saiyans and Lineage, Team Bardock prepared for battle, and of course the usual Saiyan Pride, Sharing Limit and Legendary Power accompany this Bardock, and overall I must say he looks pretty good. His active skill can be activated when HP is 60% or less or from the 5th turn, and it gives him a 318% defense boost and causes ultimate damage to the enemy. All in all, I think Bardock is really quite solid. A tiny bit situational because of the 30% damage reduction, but it's nice that they made it against Wicked Bloodlines and Transformation Boost. It means there's actually quite a few fights where you're going to be able to get that full kind of passive range from Bardock, which I think is very, very impressive. In terms of his defensive gain, he gains defense at a decent rate. I wouldn't say it's super fast because he only has the one version of stacking. You know, when he stacks on his 18 key, it's not like he can kind of really stack at a super high rate. But, you know, in general, I would say Bardock looks fairly consistent, fairly decent. I think overall for me, he's quite good for a free-to-play character, especially when you consider what happens when you get him below 60% health. That offensive boost is very, very good. And I think also, you know, there's always room for him to easy A. Like, he's pretty solid now. I wouldn't say he's an absolute top meta pick, but he's pretty good in some situational fights. I mean, you're going to see him here in the screen, and in the showcase here, tanking a super from Red Zone Freezer, which I think is pretty good. Obviously, he has type advantage. You know, I do understand all of that, and you know, it's post-active and everything, but you know, the fact that the free-to-play can even situationally tank a 6 million super attack, I think is really quite good. Is he a mandatory unit? I think so. I think he's not limited either, which I think is quite good. Like, I think his, you know, defensive mechanics are pretty good. I think his utility is pretty good. I think he, you know, exists on some good teams. So for me, in all honesty, I'd probably say he's well worth your time. He's definitely quite easy to get. I think he functions really, really well. Link-wise, slight link issues because of no fierce battle, but the rest of the links are pretty good. And he's not limited, like barring facing a Wicked Bloodlines or Transformation Boost enemy and having a superclass ally, which really probably shouldn't be an issue, all things considered. Bardock's pretty much in a good position. Like, I don't think he's in a bad position at all, and I think ultimately he looks really quite solid. If you were to say, is Bardock comparable to a Summonable LR? I would probably say no, but I think, you know, if you were to compare him to like a LR from like last year, or you know, maybe a little bit further on, I think he would be pretty good. I think his biggest thing, if he stacked on his 12 key as well as his 18 key, I think then he would actually be pretty comparable to current LRs, because he would have so many good instances of stacking then that he would look really amazing. Of course, understandably, maybe they didn't do that for that reason, but I think overall he's still really good. I think if you are wondering, should I be investing in Bardock, I think there's definitely a ton of value in getting Bardock, and I really think he is quite solid. Maybe one of the shames is that he's not on like grade A power. I think a lot of people were hoping for that based on his like animations having the giant ape in it. I think that would have been good, just because like that team would be very good for him. The power of the, you know, the power of the Goku SS4 would have done even more work with Bardock, and yeah, I think there would have been good merit there. But overall, pretty cool, and I think ultimately a really solid free-to-play that does a fantastic job. So yeah, that's it from me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, as always, take care, stay safe, and yeah, let me know what you think about Bardock. Is he good? Is he not? Is he like the best free-to-play in the game? I think he's up there. I think Demon King Piccolo is a bit better, but I think Bardock's pretty good. I think he's, yeah, really quite solid. His linking partners are a bit of a shame, but yeah, he's good.